Hello students, welcome to MS classes. Today we are here to solve this ICSE 2018 class 10th physics board paper. So let's solve this step by step. Okay. So first question, first part, state and define the SI unit of power. So here the unit is watt, and how we can define this? The power of 1 watt is defined as when the work of 1 joule is done in 1 second, right? How is the unit horsepower related to the SI unit of power? 1 horsepower, that is 746 watt. State the energy changes in the following cases while in use an electric iron. So in an electric iron, here that electrical energy, okay, that will convert into heat energy. And ceiling fan, a ceiling fan that converts electrical energy, that is converting into the mechanical energy, or you can write it as rotational kinetic energy as well. Both will be corrected. Third part, the diagram shows below the lever in use where the load is in between fulcrum and effort. So to which class of lever does it belong? That is class second lever. Without changing the dimensions of the lever, if the load is shifted towards the fulcrum, see, this distance is effort arm and this distance is load arm, right? Now the formula for mechanical advantage is effort arm upon load arm. So if the fulcrum is shifted, this load is shifted towards the fulcrum, so in that case that load arm will decrease, okay? So if the load arm will decrease, so mechanical advantage will be increased, so that will be greater than 1, right? So that is quite understood. If this load is shifted towards the fulcrum, so in that case this load arm is decreased. If load arm is decreased, so mechanical advantage will be increased. Fine. What is the ratio of the velocities of the light wavelength? 4000 angstrom and 8000 angstrom in vacuum 1:1. See, the velocity of light, that is independent of these wavelength, because that velocity of light, that is constant, which is 3 into 10 raised to power 8 meter per second. So in both the cases that velocity of light will remain same. That's why the ratio is 1:1. Which of the above wavelength has a higher frequency? As frequency, that is inversely proportional to wavelength. So more is the wavelength, less is the frequency, or vice versa. So we need higher frequency, means lesser wavelength. So 4000 angstrom will be having higher frequency. Next question, why is the motion of body moving with a constant speed around a circular path said to be accelerated? Let's suppose if a body is moving in a circular path, so at each and every point, the direction is changing. So if the direction is changing, it means the velocity is changing, because velocity is magnitude of the velocity and direction. So here the speed is constant at each and every point, but the direction is changing. So it means if the direction is changing means velocity is changing, and if velocity is changing means acceleration is there. That's why a body which is moving in a constant speed, that is said to be accelerated motion. Name the unit of physical quantity obtained by the formula this. So as we know, kinetic energy is half mv square. So 2k by v square is m. So this is mass. So this one is showing mass. Next question, the power of the lens is -5 diopter. Find its focal length. So the formula for finding out focal length is 1 by p. So 1 by 5, if I take the magnitude, 1 by 5 is 0.2 meter or 20 centimeter. If I take minus sign is for concave lens. Okay. State the position of the object in the front of converging lens if it produces the real and same size image of the object. It means the object is placed at 2f, so that the image is also formed at 2f. It is used as magnifying glass when the object is placed between f and the optical center. In that case, the image is formed enlarged behind the same side of the object. Now state the relation between the critical angle and the absolute refractive index. So here mu is 1 by sine IC, where IC is the critical angle. And which color of light has a high critical angle? How we can find out? So as we can see, critical angle is inversely proportional to mu, but that mu, refractive index, is inversely proportional to wavelength. This implies critical angle that is proportional to lambda, because if you increase mu, that will decrease the IC, and if you increase mu, that will decrease the wavelength. It means IC is proportional to lambda. Is this clear? Now which one is having more wavelength? Red color. It means the critical angle of red color is higher. So what is scattering? That is the absorption and re-emission of the light when it strikes the surface of the material. The smoke from a fire looks white. Which of the following statement is true? The molecules of the smoke are bigger than the wavelength. Yes, so this is a statement which is true for this particular case. So in this diagram, now the critical angle is given 42 degree. So we have to complete the diagram first. So let's complete this like this way. This is 30, this is 90. If you draw the normal, this will be 60 and this will be 30, right? So here, if you see, now this is the angle of incidence, right? This is the normal. So the angle made by the incident ray with the normal is 30 degree, and 30 degree is less than critical angle, which is 42 degree. So here we have refraction in place of total internal reflection. So it means the ray should go straight like this way, but in the change of the medium, because of the change of the medium, this will move away from the normal like this way. So the ray will move like this, away from the normal, right? Why? Because of this angle of incidence, which is less than the critical angle. And in case if it was greater than critical angle, which is 42 degree, the ray will be reflected inside the same medium. Now displacement distance graph of the two sound waves is given to us. We have to find the amplitude. So as you can see, the amplitude of A upon amplitude of B. So this is 20, and for this is 10, which is 2 by 1. And if you compare the wavelength for A, let's suppose this is lambda, and the wavelength of B, for this complete wavelength, we have half of the wavelength, right? So it means the ratio will be 2:1 again. That depends like what you are taking, A is to B or B is to A. You have three resistors of values 2, 3 and 5. How will you join them so that the total resistance is more than 7 ohm? So how we can draw the diagram? If you connect all of them in series, so here this is 2 ohm, 3 ohm and 5 ohm. If you just add all of them, you will get 10 ohm. So the net resistance is coming 10 ohm, which is greater than 7 ohm. Okay, so that's the answer. That's the diagram and that's the net answer. What do you understand by the term nuclear fusion? So nuclear fusion is the process when the lighter nuclei, they add up and they give the heavy nucleus with the release of tremendous amount of energy. Nuclear power plants use nuclear fusion. Why? Because nuclear fusion, here this is controllable and produce a large amount of energy. So that is the biggest advantage of producing electricity by fusion reaction. Fusion reaction first, but if you use the fusion, that obviously that gives you the large amount of energy as compared to fusion, but that is uncontrollable. Okay, that is the biggest disadvantage. What do you understand by free vibrations of a body? Free vibration means if the body is vibrating with its natural tendency without any presence of external periodic force. Why does the amplitude continuously decreasing? Because in the damped vibration, because of this damping force that tries decreasing the amplitude of it because of the loss of heat energy. So because of the loss of energy in the form of heat, that amplitude goes on decreasing. How is the EMF across primary and secondary coils of a transformer related with the number of turns? Like by this way. EMF across secondary upon across primary is equal to number of turns across secondary upon primary. On which type of current do transformer work? AC. We prefer AC because in AC only the mutual induction is possible, not DC. Fourth question, first part. How can a temperature in degrees Celsius be converted into SI unit of temperature? By using this formula, T degrees Celsius plus 273, that will give you T in Kelvin. Okay. If you add 273.15 or roughly you can take 273 as well. That is the factor which we add in the degree Celsius gives us in Kelvin. A liquid X has the maximum specific heat and is used as a coolant in the car radiators. Name the liquid X, that is water. Now a solid metal weighing 150 gram melts at its melting point of 800 degrees Celsius by providing heat at the rate of 100 watt. The time taken for it is completely melt at the same temperature is 4 minutes. So what is the specific latent heat of fusion of the metal? Now here mass is given 150 gram. The melting point is given 800 degrees Celsius. Now the power is also given, which is 100 watt, which is 100 joule per second. Now the time taken for it to completely melt is 4 minutes, which is 240 seconds. Now in 1 second that requires 100 joules. So for 240 seconds it will require this much, 24,000 joules. As we know the formula, Q is equal to ml. So Q is 24,000. M is in kg, 150 by 1000 into L. So after solving this, we are getting 16 into 10 raised to power 4 joule per kg or 160 joule per gram. That's the answer. Identify the following wires used in the household circuit. The wire is also called a phase wire, which is live wire. The wire is connected to the top terminal of a 3-pin socket, which is earth wire. Now what are isobars? These are those elements having the same mass number but different atomic number. Give one example of isobars. So here you can write sodium and magnesium having 11 and 23, and here 12 and 23. So having the same mass number but different atomic number. State any two advantages of electromagnets over permanent magnets. The first advantage is we can increase the strength of electromagnet, and second is we can reverse the polarity of electromagnet. Okay, how? By reversing the direction of current. Now section B, question 5th, first part. Derive a relation between SI and CGS unit of work. So 1 joule, that we can write 1 kg meter square per second square. Now 1 kg is 10 raised to power 3 grams. 1 meter is 10 raised to power 2 centimeters square per second square. So that will give you 10 raised to power 7 gram centimeter square per second square, which is 10 raised to power 7 erg. Now second is a force acts on a body and displaces it by a distance s in the direction at an angle theta with the direction of force. What should be the value of theta to get the maximum positive work? So as we know, the formula for work done is F as cos theta. Now to get the maximum positive work, this cos theta has to be equal to 1 because the maximum value of cos theta is 1. So if you keep theta is equal to 0 degree, that will give you cos theta as 1, which is the maximum value of cos theta, corresponding to which you will get the maximum value of work done. Okay. Second part, a half meter rod is pivoted at its center, okay, with the two ways 20 gram force and 12 gram force suspended at a perpendicular distance of 6 cm and 10 cm from the pivot respectively, as shown in below. Now which of the two forces acting on it causes clockwise? So as you can see, this is moving in this direction. So this force will try to rotate this in this direction, which is anti-clockwise, and this force will try to rotate this in this direction, which is clockwise, right? So 12 gram force is the right answer for the clockwise moment. Is the rod in equilibrium? That we will find out. Find the clockwise moment first. So for clockwise moment, this will be 12 gram force into 10 centimeter, which will give you 120 gram force centimeter. And then find anti-clockwise moment, which is 20 gram force into 6, which is again coming 120 gram force centimeter. So both are coming same. So in case if the clockwise moment is coming equal to anti-clockwise moment, it means the rod is in equilibrium. So the answer is yes. Now the direction of 20 kg F. Now here this is a printing error. This should be gram force, as it is given gram force in the diagram. So this should be 20 gram force is reversed. What is the magnitude of the resultant moment of the force on this rod? So in that case, if this is in this direction, so it means this is also like acting in the same direction, in this direction, right? And that is clockwise. So the total clockwise moment will be 120 plus 120, which is 240 gram force centimeter. Okay. Now first part, draw a diagram to show a block and tackle pulley system having velocity ratio of 3, marking the direction of load, effort and tension. So this is the diagram showing the 3 pulleys used in this block and tackle arrangement, showing the direction of effort, tension and load. The pulley system drawn lifts a load of 150 Newton when an effort of 60 Newton is applied. Find its mechanical advantage, which is MA, that is equal to load upon effort. Load is 150 and effort is 60, which is 5 by 2, which is 2.5, okay, which is coming less than 3, which was the velocity ratio given to us. Now here, as we can see, MA, that is not equal to VR, velocity ratio. It means this is not an ideal machine, because for an ideal machine efficiency has to be equal to 100%. So here the formula for efficiency is MA upon VR into 100. So here MA is not equal to VR because MA is 2.5 and VR is 3, which is not equal. It means efficiency is not equal to 100%. It means this is not an ideal machine. Now next question, question number 6. A ray of light XY passes through a right angled isosceles prism as shown below. What is the angle through which the incident ray deviates and emerges out of the prism? So the angle through which the incident ray deviates and emerges out. Okay. So this is the angle of incidence, 0 degree. Here R is equal to 0. If you draw a normal, this is 45. This is 90. This will also be 45. This hole is 90. So this will also be 45. So here at this face the angle of incidence is 45 degree. Now this is totally internally reflection. This will also be 45 because I is equal to R for the reflection. Now this is 45. Here I is equal to 0 for this angle of incidence, and here R is equal to 0. So this is the angle through which the incident ray deviates and emerges out. So this is the angle 45 degree, and here the angle of incidence is 0 degree. And name the instrument where this section of prism is put into use. So here the answer is periscope. Which prism surface will behave as a mirror? So as you can see, AB is the surface which is behaving as a mirror, where I is equal to R based on total internal reflection. So this is the surface which is behaving as a mirror. Second, an object AB is placed between O and F on the principal axis of a converging lens as shown in the diagram. Copy the diagram and by using 3 standard rays starting from point A, obtain the image of the object AB. So here is the diagram where the object is placed between focus and optical center, and the image is formed beyond, okay, and the image is formed on the same side of the object and which is highly enlarged. So here we have shown the 3 rays, okay. Now the third part, an object is placed at a distance of 12 centimeter. So it means U is minus 12. So minus n we have used because of the sign convention. From a convex lens of focal length 8. So convex lens is given. It means the focal length will be taken as positive. So we have to find the position of the image. So we will use this formula. 1 by V minus 1 by U is 1 by F. So 1 by V minus 1 by U. U is minus 12, which is 1 by 8. So after solving this, we are getting V is equal to 24 centimeter, which is coming positive. It means the image is formed on the other side of the object. It means the image is real, inverted, forming beyond 2F and highly enlarged. Okay. Now question number 7, first part. Draw the diagram of a right angle isosceles prism which is used to make an inverted image erect. So this is the diagram where that inverted image is used. Now with the help of this right angle prism, right isosceles prism, we have got the inverted image erect. Okay, so this diagram you are supposed to draw. Now in this diagram, the second part, a sonometer is used where the 2 tuning forks are used. Okay, so the stems of the 2 vibrating tuning forks are touched to the wooden box of the sonometer. So during this experiment, they have asked, name the phenomena when the paper rider just vibrates. If you just read this question, this is the phenomena when the paper rider just vibrates, means if this tuning fork is just touched to this sonometer, so that is the forced vibration with the help of which that paper rider just vibrates. And when the paper rider flies off, means that is resonance, because at the resonance the applied frequency matches with the natural frequency, during which the amplitude becomes maximum, and because of this paper rider flies off. This is the answer for the third part. Why does the paper rider fly off when the stem of the tuning fork B is touched to the box? Again, because of the same reason, resonance, the amplitude becomes maximum, and the stem of this, if it is touched to the box, the paper rider flies off. A. First part. A fuse is rated 8 ampere. Can it be used with an electrical appliance rated 5 kilowatt and 200 volt? Give a reason. So here we have to find the current rating first. Use the formula power is V into I. So I we can find out using this. I is equal to P by V. So the power is 5000 watt and V is given 200, which is coming 25 ampere. The current rating of fuse is 8 ampere. It means this cannot be used under this current rating of fuse. Okay, because here this is coming greater than that, so that is unsafe for use. Name two safety devices which are connected to the live wire of the household electric circuit. So here this is switch and fuse. Okay. B. First part, we have to find the equivalent resistance. So as you can see, these two are in parallel. So use the formula 1 by R is 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. You will get 2 ohm. Here 1 by 4 plus 1 by 12, which is 3 ohm. Now 2 ohm and 3 ohm, they both are in series. So the net answer is 5 ohm, right? Now second part, state whether the resistivity of a wire changes with the change in the thickness of the wire. No, because resistivity depends upon the nature of the material. Okay, that is independent on the thickness and the length of the wire. Now third part, an electric iron is rated as this. If the iron is used for 2 hours daily, find the cost of the running it for 1 week. If it costs 4.25 per kilowatt hour. Now find out for 2 hours first. So work done, or you can say energy consumed for 2 hours will be power into time. So power is 2 kilowatt and time is 2 hours, which is 4 kilowatt hour, right? Now this is used for 1 week, means 7 days. So the total cost will be for 1 kilowatt hour, this is 4.25 rupees. So for 4 kilowatt hour, this will be into 4, and this is used for 1 week. It means this is used for 7 days. So for 7 days they have to pay that much amount, which is coming rupees 119. Now why is the fuse absolutely necessary in a power circuit? Because fuse is a safety device, okay, and that is connected to the live wire, because in case if the excess current is passed through the live wire, that fuse breaks that live wire. Okay, that is the basic purpose of the fuse using in the power circuit. Now question number 9. First part, heat supplied to a solid changes it into liquid. What is the change in phase called? That is called latent heat of melting. Okay, because at the latent heat, that is the hidden energy required, okay, that is used to convert solid into liquid at constant temperature. So that is the state of melting. When the solid is converting into liquid, that heat energy is called latent heat of melting. During the phase change, does the average kinetic energy of the molecule of the substance increase? Answer is no, because the average kinetic energy depends upon temperature. As the temperature remains constant, it means the average kinetic energy that remains same. What is the energy absorbed during the phase change called? That energy is called latent heat of melting. Okay, that is the energy absorbed. Okay, that is the hidden energy which is responsible for converting this state, that is called latent heat. And the change of phase is called melting, and that hidden energy is called latent heat. Now First part, state two differences between heat capacity and specific heat capacity. So heat capacity is defined as the amount of energy required to raise the temperature of a body by 1 degree Celsius, and specific heat capacity is defined as the amount of heat energy required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius. And the second is heat capacity. Okay, the relation, if this is C dash, that is equal to M into C. C is the specific heat capacity. Give the mathematical relation between heat capacity and specific heat capacity. Yes, this is the mathematical relation. C dash is equal to M into C, where C is specific heat capacity and C dash is heat capacity. So here you can give one more difference, the unit of heat capacity, that you can write joule per Kelvin, and this you can write joule per kg per Kelvin, right? Third part, the temperature of 170 gram of water at 50 degrees Celsius is lowered to 5 degrees Celsius by adding certain amount of ice to it. Find the mass of the ice added. Here, this is the Q1 energy, okay, which is used in lowering down the temperature of 170 gram of water by adding the ice. So here this is the mass of the water into C of water into the difference in temperature, which is 50 minus 5. And Q2 is the amount of energy which is given by ice, okay, which is M into L. This is given to us. Now as Q1 is equal to Q2, so after equating these two, we are getting mass is equal to 0.956 kg. Question number 10, first part. The diagram shows a coil wound around a U-shaped soft iron bar AB. First part, what is the polarity induced at the ends A and B when the switch is pressed? So if the switch is pressed, if you just see this from the below, the current is flowing like this, right? If you just see this from the below, it means this will acquire a polarity of south and this will acquire a polarity of north. So just one way to strengthen the magnetic field in the electromagnet. So how we can increase the strength? By increasing the value of current. Okay. Third part, what will be the polarities at A and B if the direction of current is reversed? So that will be north and this will be south. So that polarity, okay, that will be reversed. Second part, the ore of uranium found in nature contains this and this. Although both the isotopes are fissionable, it is found out experimentally that one of the two isotopes is more easily fissionable. Okay, name the isotope of uranium which is easily fissionable. So here the answer is uranium-238, because here the neutron to proton ratio is much greater than 1, which is unstable. Okay, so this is unstable as compared to this isotope. It means this is more fissionable. That is the answer for the second part. Write a nuclear reaction when uranium-238 92 emits an alpha particle and gives thorium. So here this is 92, this is 2, this has to be 90, so that 90 plus 2 gives 92, and this has to be 234, so that 234 plus 4 gives you 238. So that is the reaction. In the last part, radiations given out from a source. Okay, so this is the source when subjected to an electric field in the direction perpendicular to their path. These are the arrows of alpha, beta and gamma radiations. So we have to tell first part. The name of the radiations, first part, name the radiation B, okay, which is unaffected by the electrostatic field. So that is gamma, because gamma is carrying zero charge, so that moves straight. Okay, that is gamma ray. Why does the radiation C deflect more than A? Because this radiation C, that is the beta rays, okay, and these are light as compared to alpha, which is made up of helium particle. That's why they deflect more, because of charge to mass ratio. Now third, which among the three causes the least biological damage externally? So answer is alpha, that causes the least biological damage, then beta and then gamma. Name the radiation which is used for carbon dating. That is beta.